Hello everybody and welcome to a very special episode of Draw with Rob, with me, Rob Biddulph. And of course, we are here as usual to do a drawing together. Now then, the reason this is a very special episode of Draw with Rob is because it's brought to you in conjunction with my friends at the LEGO Group. Isn't that exciting? Now then, have you guys watched the LEGO DREAMZzz series on YouTube? Oh, it's really good. It's really, really good. If you haven't seen it, you have to check it out. So it's an animated show about a group of friends who are called Mateo, Izzy, Cooper, Logan and Zoe, also known as the Dream Chasers. And these guys, they can kind of cross over between the dream world and the normal world. So in this show, dreams kind of become real. And in that first season, we're kind of with them as they enter the dream world, and using the power of imagination, they battle against the evil Nightmare King and the Grim Spawn, who want to corrupt all of the dream worlds and every kind of dream creature that's contained within them. And listen, you have to watch it because that first season was absolutely brilliant. And guess what? I have got very, very good news for you, because season 2 launches today. That's right, May the 17th, 2024, and it's called Night of the Neverwitch. And you can watch a bunch of episodes right now on LEGO YouTube. So in season 2, we have a new villain. She's called the Neverwitch, and she's causing all sorts of trouble between the dream world and the waking world. And the season opens with a bang, because the Neverwitch breaks out of the murky realm where she's been imprisoned by the Nightmare King. And then once she's escaped, she uses her powers to steal memories. She creates a group of evil doppelgangers, and she captures dream realms in indestructible doom domes. And you know what? The fate of the entire dream world is on the line as the Neverwitch tries to end dreaming forever. Can you imagine that? Ending dreaming forever. And you know what? Yes, you've guessed it. Only our heroes, the Dream Chasers, can stop her. So I thought, to celebrate the launch of season 2 of LEGO DREAMZzz, I would show you how to draw one of the characters from the series. Now, this character is a kind of sidekick from the series, and it's called Zian the Cat Owl. Do you want to see Zian the Cat Owl? There we go. Oh my gosh, pretty cool, huh? What a cool looking creature. So this is Zian, as the name suggests, a kind of giant cat-owl hybrid. And now one of the characters, Zoe, befriends Zian in the dream world, and she kind of rides him to and from her cabin in the fantasy realm. And he's a really, really great character in the series. He's really loyal and protective of Zoe, but he's also ready to swoop in and save all of the dreamers who are in distress. So I'm very, very excited to show you how to draw Zian today. So what you're going to need is a piece of paper like this. You're going to need a pen, and you're probably going to need something to colour with a bit later on, because as you just saw, Zian is very, very colourful indeed. Now, if you haven't watched Draw with Rob before, this is how it works. Lots of people say to me they don't think they're very good at drawing. I say that's nonsense. Everybody can draw. Some people just need a little bit of help with the order that we do the drawing in. Now that's where I come in, because what we're going to do, we're going to break this. You saw this character look like quite a complicated character to draw, and you know, he is fairly complicated to draw, but we're going to break this drawing down into little tiny bite-sized pieces, which is going to make it much, much easier. So I will draw, you know, a little shape on my piece of paper here. Then you can pause the video and copy what I do. Start me up again. I will draw some more. Pause me. Then you will draw. Start me up. I draw. You draw. 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 And by the end, we're going to have a lovely, lovely drawing of Zian the Cat Owl. Right, shall we start? Okay, the very first thing I want you to do, pretty much in the middle of your piece of paper, I would say, is we're going to draw a diamond, okay? So we're just going to draw a little tiny diamond, like that. Easy start, huh? And then inside that diamond, we're going to draw an even tinier diamond, like so. So I do think sometimes when you look at a drawing, if you just looked at the finished drawing and I said, right, draw that, you would be like overwhelmed. It would look like it was too hard to do. And something like Zian, the cat owl, might look too complicated to do at first, but honestly, you wait and see, because we are going to do this together and you're going to be so proud of what you create. Right, the next thing I want you to do, coming out of the right side of the diamond, I want you to draw a little curved line, sort of going up, curving a little bit. And we're going to do the same on the left hand side. This drawing is quite kind of symmetrical, which means that one side looks like the other side in mirror image. So there's going to be a lot of me saying, now do the same on the other side, but in reverse, okay? Just to warn you. I'll give you an example. What I want you to do next is I want you just to go about 1 centimetre horizontally to the right there, and then guess what? We do the same on the other side. Like that. Next, we're going to go from this top right hand side, we're going to curve down and we're going to end up right below the middle of the diamond. Like that. And let's do the same over here. So we curve around and we end up in the middle of the diamond. Now we're going to start adding some detail right at the beginning. So what I want you to do is follow that shape. Inside that shape, I'm going to use the very tip of my brush pen. And I'm going to do a bit of a thinner line like this. I'm just going to follow that shape all the way around on both sides. So we've just kind of given it a bit of a border on the edge. Like so. Okay, now the next thing I want you to do is sort of about 1 centimetre above the diamond. I want you to draw a horizontal line, but I want you just to keep a little tiny gap between those shapes, like that. And then from the right hand side, we are going to just curve up a couple of centimetres, like so. Hey, you never guess what we're going to do next. That's right, we're going to do it on this side too. Then we're going to turn around here and we're going to disappear back down into there. And these are going to be Zian's ears. Okay, let's carry on. Imagine that ear is carrying on behind that shape. And we're going down to about, let's go a bit lower than that middle point there. Okay, do it on the other side too. I mean, I think literally every single thing we do, apart from, there's one bit at the end which is only on one side, but everything else is done twice in mirror image. Now what I want you to do is change direction quite sharply and just head down that way. We'll do the same over here. So we're going to head back in that way. So we sort of have created little points on each side, and this is going to be the sides of Zian, the cat owl's head. And then let's join that up. We're not going to join it dead straight, I'm going to join it very slightly curvily, like that. So we have the outline of that. It's kind of like an owl head, I suppose. A bit owl head, a bit cat. It's a proper cross between a cat and an owl, this character. Okay, before we do anything else, let's draw a little triangle shape there for the inside of the ear. Another one there. And let's just do a couple of little lines across that area in there, which is going to help us when we come to colouring later on. Right, I think it's time to do a beak. So what we're going to do, the beak, directly underneath the diamond and this shape here, I want you to draw a little kind of semicircle line, like that. Then we're going to come out to the left and down, and then we're going to do a mirror image. So we've created a shape like that, and that is going to be our little beak, and it's a black beak, so we can just colour that in right now, like that. A nice little owly beak. And let's give Zian some eyes now. So the eyes are they're very sort of elegant shaped eyes. They remind me of a kind of Egyptian queen's eye makeup. So what we're going to do, we're going to draw a sort of tear shape. So we're going to come up, down, and along, like that. And then we're going to go down and round and join up. So a really nice, almost like a leaf shape, isn't it? We'll do the same at this side. So we go up, around to the left, and then come down and in. So yeah, it's like two little leaf shapes. And then inside each leaf shape, we're going to draw a circle, which is kind of cut off at the top. It's going to be the irises, and then we're going to draw the pupils. Okay, now the pupils are quite big, and we do them sort of towards the top area of the eye, so we can sort of cut the pupils off just a little bit too. There we go. And then the last thing I want you to do is we're just going to shade in a tiny little triangle at the end there. And in fact, just smooth that around to make nice eye shapes. Lovely. Now, this particular owl cat is kind of very highly decorated. So there's one thing I want you to do first. We're going to do 2 little kind of triangles on each side. Can you see I've left a little tiny gap before I join it back up with the head? And that's because we're just going to add a little shape like that, just so we can add a bit more colour to our cat owl's head. And then underneath each eye we're going to draw 3 triangles pointing downwards. So 1, 2, 3. And then we'll do the same on the side. 1, 2, 3. So they're like stylized kind of eyelashes. And that's pretty much our cat owl's head. Okay, so I'm going to make my ears slightly taller by just thickening the line that I've drawn. This is the good thing about using brush pens. When you have kind of thicker lines, you can just change the shape if you need to here and there, just to get it more like you originally wanted it to be. One of the many benefits of using brush pens. Right, now it's time to draw. Let's do the tummy next. So the tummy is, she's kind of got, Zian's, he's kind of got like this kind of feathery tummy, because remember he's a cat stroke owl. So what we're going to do, we're going to find a little midpoint. So about the same length of the head, we're just going to draw a little tiny horizontal line, you know, that distance lower than the chin. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go from about here, from this kind of, this corner here. I want you to go down towards that line, but we're going to go down in like a series of zigzags, kind of like feathery zigzags. Can you see I'm just sort of rotating around and going around, and then the last one is just going to go to there. And we'll do the same over here. So zigzagging down and around, trying to make it as symmetrical as possible. Here we go, it's not too bad. So it's like a little fluffy sort of tummy, and that looks quite a lot like an owl now, I would say, wouldn't you? Pretty owl-like. And then we're just going to add a nice deep V shape here in the middle, which is Zian's kind of trademark patterning. Okay, so now let's add legs. So what we're going to do, this line that we drew here, we're just actually going to continue that around. Okay, we're going to come down, let's go down to about there, I think. We'll do the same on the other side. Each time I'm just going to do each step on each side at the same time, because once you're sort of in the zone for each shape, I think it's easier to do the other side at the same time. Then I want you to draw another line there, sort of describe the shape of the legs. And Zian wears these kind of bracelet things, anklet things. So we're just going to draw like a rectangle, like that, slightly wider than each leg. And inside them, a little hexagon shaped kind of jewels. 3 of them. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Now the next thing to do, I'm going to draw the toes before I do the kind of the rest of the leg, because I want the toes to sit in front of the leg. And the toes are really quite easy, because what we're going to do, we're just going to draw 1, 2, 3 curved shapes like that, and then a line along the bottom. We'll do the same on the other side, so 1, 2, 3, like that, and then a line along the bottom. And these are going to be kind of the toes. And he's got sort of claws, and the claws we're just going to do like this, little triangles inside each of those curvy bits. And that's going to be how we draw the claws. And now we can carry on the legs. So imagine that line goes through that sort of anklet bracelet thing, just like that. Maybe curves out very slightly at the bottom as it joins the toes. And there we go. Zian's body is pretty much done. What we're going to do now, this is an owl cat, right? So it has 4 legs. So what I'm going to do, we're going to draw the other 2 legs sort of in this gap here, sort of as if they're behind a bit. So you've sort of got to do these shapes again. What I will do first, I'm going to do the little anklet thing, but I'm doing it slightly up and to the left a bit. So I'm going to do it up and to the left a bit, and then maybe you can just include one of those little hexagon shapes just on the edge there. And coming out the top, we do 2 more lines. Then before we do exactly the same order, we'll add, you can just see a little bit of these little bumps here, like that. Do the triangles within, and then we'll join it up. So exactly the same way that we did the other legs. And can you see, it makes it look like our character now has 4 legs, not 2. So, you know, it's fiddly, but once you break it down, it's pretty easy, isn't it? It's pretty easy. Now, the wings. So do you remember Zian, the giant cat owl, has these huge wings, amazing, beautiful, beautiful wings that kind of stick out on each side. So this is the trickiest line that we're going to draw, because what I want you to do is from this point here, where the head joins the body, we're going to come out and we're going to go all the way up our page like that, and we're going to do it in a kind of a curve that bends twice. First of all, it comes up, and then it goes out to the right, and then from the midpoint we sort of curve upwards towards the corner of our page like that. And this is the trickiest bit, I think, getting the wings to look symmetrical. I mean, what do I always say? Our drawing is not going to be perfect. No drawing is ever perfect, so don't worry too much if your wings aren't perfectly symmetrical. I'll tell you what, we will do it. I was going to say maybe I will draw 1 wing first and then we'll draw the second wing afterwards, but let's do it all. No, I will do that. We're just going to draw 1 wing first, and then you don't need to watch me do the second wing. I will draw 1 wing very carefully, and then I will super speed the second wing, okay, just to make things a bit quicker for you. So the next thing I want you to do, from about here, so a couple of centimeters further down, I want you to draw another curve. This time we're going to go straight out, and we're going to curve around, and we're going to join up about there. Okay, so we're not going to the end of our line. We can go to about there, and that's because Zian has these kind of like feathers sticking out of the wing, and they look like this. So they're going to come up, around, and then they sort of go to a point like that. That's 1. And we've got to draw, how many have we got to draw? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, let's see if I can do 12. So I'm going to go out, and then I'm going to come down, and I'm going to go in. I'm going to come out, I'm going to come down, and I'm going to go in. And can you see I'm very slightly changing the angle as I go down, and they're very, very slightly getting smaller as I go down as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm trying to sort of follow the curve around. 7, 8, and we're just going to get smaller and smaller. 9, 10, until the last one really is quite small, and that's just going to disappear into the body like that. So there we go. That's pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with that. It's quite tricky, but you know, take your time. I've done mine quite quickly. You take your time and it will work really, really well. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is he's got really lovely, beautiful patterns on his wings. So what we want to do first of all, we're going to follow the curve of the wing, the top of the wing, just with a very thin line. We're going to go just past halfway to about there. Then I want you to come down, and we're going to do let's do 4 kind of points like this. There we go. That's the kind of the pattern that he has. And then underneath that he has this really cool lightning pattern. Now, you know what the rules are with Draw with Rob. You don't have to do the same patterns. You can kind of do whatever you want. Be a bit creative. Your cat owl, sorry, can be patterned any way you want. But I'm going to actually do what Zian's patterns are. It's sort of like a lightning shape. So we have a little zigzag there, and it curves up. We leave a little gap. And then we come down here, we're going to add another little zigzag, I think, in there. So it's a bit sort of like a lightning bolt, I guess, which is pretty cool, I must admit. But as I said, feel free to do whatever you want. Here we go. And then Zian has a little kind of moon shape here, like a crescent moon, like that. And there's one star here, so it's a bit like when I do sparkles on my characters. And then there's a tiny little star in there, like that. That's pretty good. That's one of his wings. So, remember what I said earlier? I'm going to now draw the other wing. I'm going to do it in super speed mode, so you don't have to watch me do it, but we're going to do exactly the same method that we did with the other one, but just mirror image. So I'll see you back here in about 10 seconds with a hopefully a nice symmetrically drawn wing. Here we go. Okay, there we go. That's not bad. I'm quite pleased with that. I made a slight mistake here on my lightning bolt when I was looking at that side and trying to work out which way to go. But remember what I say, if you make a mistake, keep on drawing. It's often those mistakes, I think they give character to your drawing. They're what makes it look like a robot hasn't done this picture. We don't want it to look like a robot's done this picture. But look at that. That is a very, very majestic looking creature. Now, I don't want to forget Zian's tail. So the tail, obviously we're looking at a front view of Zian, so the tail is near his bottom. So we're going to do the tail coming round from this side. So this is the bit, remember I said there's one bit that isn't symmetrical, and that's the tail. So the tail, we're going to do a nice curve, comes out, and sort of finishes just below the level of the feet. And then we're going to keep going around with our curve, and the tail sort of gets thicker at the end, like so. Then Zian has a couple of sort of bracelets sort of around the tail, so we're going to add a couple of curvy lines there. Let's do a couple more here, a couple of bracelets, and I think that will do. And now it's time for the really fun bit, the bit I've really been looking forward to, and that's the colouring in, because when you draw something quite complicated like this where there's lots of little shapes there, it means you've got lots of scope to do some amazing colouring. And you know what, I cannot wait to see your colourful cat owls that you send me. I'm going to do mine in the colours that he's in the LEGO DREAMZzz series, so kind of blues and greens and a bit of pink for the eyes and a bit of orange here and there. But you do whatever you like. I will see you back here in about 20 seconds with a fully coloured in Zian the Cat Owl. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, so there is my coloured in Zian the Cat Owl from the LEGO DREAMZzz series. What do you think? Oh, I really like this one. It's one of my favourites. So colourful. So I will just tell you what I've done. So as I said, I'm going to stick to the colours of Zian in the show. So lots of blues and greens, a little bit of yellow and pink here and there, nice pink eyes. And I've done some, you can see in the feathers here, I've sort of used some line texture just to make, and also in the fur here, just to make it feel a bit kind of fluffier. And just to add, we didn't want everything to be totally smooth, I didn't think. So there we go. That's how you draw Zian the Cat Owl. What do you think? There's still one thing I've got to do, isn't there? Have you noticed what I haven't done? That's right, one of the most important things with the whole drawing. You've got to sign your artwork. You've got to let everybody know who has created this wonderful work of art. So there we go. I've written my name there nice and proudly. I want you to do the same. I also want to see your drawings, because I have got a very good feeling about this. There's so much opportunity for brilliant colour work here. I really can't wait to see your drawings. So do you know how I want to see your drawings? That's right. Get someone to take a picture of your artwork and then post it on social media using this hashtag #DrawWithRob. That way I will get to see it. And don't forget guys, season 2 of LEGO DREAMZzz launches today. So that's May the 17th. It's called Night of the Never Witch, and you can watch a bunch of episodes right now on the LEGO YouTube channel. I'll include a link below in this post so you can click straight to it. And then I want you guys to keep your eyes peeled for the second half of the season, which will air in September later on this year, 2024. So much to look forward to and so exciting. And really, honestly, check it out. It's really, really fun. It's a brilliant idea, full of imagination, and I really, really love it. So thank you for watching. I hope you've had fun. I'm going to be back very soon with another episode of Draw with Rob. In the meantime, everybody, take care, keep drawing, and I'll see you soon.